Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and today we're going to talk about some pretty interesting news from yesterday. The fact that Simp and co, well over at Atlanta FaZe, were scrimming up against New York subliners, that being Clayster's team, former teammate of Simp, aBeZy and Arcitys, winners of the 2019 Call of Duty World Championship. Scrim didn't necessarily go too well for the New York subliners, especially because Atlanta FaZe maybe haven't been looking so good. They lost to the Florida Mutineers at that kickoff weekend. Now maybe they've really put their heads together these last few days and are absolutely dominating scrims. Simp almost dropping a nuke before, well, it seems like the subliners ended the scrim maybe in some sort of rage quit situation. It's somewhat unclear. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, to mention this, lots of great feedback on this interview I did yesterday with Envoy here on the channel. So well, I'll try and get some more pros on the channel relatively soon. Not sure how often it's going to be possible, especially given there's a lot of league matches this season, but maybe after stage 1 we can see exactly what is possible over the channel over the course of the season. But yeah, trying to bring you guys as new and as fresh content as I possibly can. So yeah, thanks for all the great feedback on that one. CODLey yesterday say the following. So this coming weekend, the Challengers Cup Elite, well, the Season 1 Elite qualifiers are going to be happening. So effectively, we've got all the Challengers Cup winners. We saw, okay, Subliners Academy, Rams, Renegades winning them. But this weekend, the Challengers Elite qualifiers are going to occur. So Challengers Elite, effectively, top 8 teams from all regions are going to be playing effectively just alongside league matches. So stage 1 of the league is going to be coincided with stage 1 of Challengers Elite. That's going to be 8 teams, and after the stage 1 finishes in a similar way to how the league is going to be run, then the top 4 teams in Challengers stay in the Challengers Elite, and the bottom 4 teams then go down to relegation, and we actually get kind of a relegation promotion system to run alongside the league in that kind of second division, which is effectively what Elite is going to be. So this weekend, we're going to be determining which 8 teams are going to be in that first stage 1. 32 teams go to each of these tournaments in North America and in Europe. If you're in APAC, kind of unlucky, you have to move to one of these other regions. And the top 8 teams from that 32 team bracket will then qualify for the Challengers Elite Season 1. But pretty interestingly, in a number of regions, there's been a lot of roster shuffles going on, especially in Europe right now. Dave was dropped from his team, so it looks like Harry leaving Octane, joining Vortex, Josh, and Nasty in place of Dave. So craziness, to be honest. I think there's many more changes as well. So you'd imagine that right before the Challengers Elite qualifiers, it'd be like, okay, this is the time where all of our practice as a team over these last several weeks is paying off. But well, it seems like many roster changes still going on right now. And also, as Zed says, in the North American side, need one for the Elite Series qualifiers, preferably someone with at least 2,500 pro points. That's me, Dens, and Jerd, because Goonjar was on this team. Where's Goonjar gone? Not exactly sure. Maybe he's teaming with John or something. But yeah, it's somewhat unclear right now. But a lot of roster change situations going on. Fastballer also says, look, he's looking for coaching opportunities now, given you know, he's had people trying to banish him from the scene or whatever. Fastballer was in the Pro League in Black Ops 4 on that Accelerate squad, you guys might remember. And Kismet also saying how they effectively just want to, well, he wants to just GA PCs, because the league isn't going to go back on this whole PC switch, unfortunately, even with the anti-cheat situation not exactly in a good state right now. As Kismet says, look, unless something like this comes in, I'm playing the next Karma in his prime every other round of a 2K. It is a joke. You cannot trust anyone anymore. Wants to just GA PCs and go back to console right here. But well, how realistic is that to expect the players that have put all this money into the PCs just to go and buy a PS5 or something? It's well, it's difficult to argue that that is actually going to be happening. So it probably will not. But well, chaos in the Challenger scene once again. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated as the qualifier continues. Going to be entertaining to see who makes it into that top 8. So also talking very quickly about the anti-cheat, Vicstar mentioned yesterday he has an open line of communication with Activision regarding the issue. He effectively quits Warzone, as he's even BBC World say right here, saturated with hackers, therefore he's not playing it anymore. 29,000 likes on this one. So just kind of make you think, if he has an open line of communication supposedly with Activision discussing the cheating problem, maybe an anti-cheat's on the works. If that is the case, that may well help the Challenger scene and maybe the pro scene as well, as we've been talking about unfortunately these last couple of weeks. So here we go then from Simp. They ended the game while I was 23-0. I'll have to play you guys this clip on screen because honestly the comms on this are absolutely hilarious. Good vibes from the Atlanta FaZe guys. And it's kind of interesting because a few days ago we saw, why is this paused? We saw a few days ago from Crowder, he was discussing how, okay, their vibes maybe were too good. They were winning scrim sets like 8-0, but they weren't taking it like super seriously. They weren't like really focusing up and well, trying to improve as a team. It was more like, okay, just because we're dominating these fools, there's well, nothing that they're going to be able to do to beat meters. But right here, I mean, they're just absolutely crushing New York subliners here on this garrison control. I mean, Simp is running riot in their spawn, and well, then he absolutely goes on a tear in their spawn right here. Honestly, it looks like he's playing public matches. It's pretty incredible. He goes on a 17 kill streak in the very first round alone. The second round starts, he starts out 6-0 or something, and then they, well, apparently rage quit and effectively end the game before he gets his chance to get his nuke. So pretty incredible stuff. I'll have to play this clip on screen for you guys because the comms from the Atlanta FaZe guys are just absolutely hilarious.
So, on team numbers. Bottom green somewhere.
Make sure not flag.
Square,
bro.
Flag a little weak.
Bottom green somewhere,
I
bro.
Top coming down, half health. And dude.
I'm being played done.
Oh! That is. Oh no!
Back mid, Diamond a little weak.
Get him, bro!
Get him, bro.
Back truck, ace him.
Tools play.
Ace him, one shot, back
tools.
Back
No.
truck.
Back
Back truck, back truck.
Oh, hey, Diamond!
Nice, two tools.
Never mind, you fell.
I got salute.
Chris is your like.
I'm showing
I don't know where
rogues.
the f*** is at, bro. Play above you.
He was tools.
I want to get.
I'm going
better.
rogue.
Oh my god.
Going
Oh
rogue.
my god.
Back tools, he went vent,
Back, or back.
I'm on a 9.
Put on garage behind you.
I'm on a 10.
Oh my god.
They're sliding on me. Oh my god!
Back tools.
Oh!
I still think so.
Oh, I'm on a 12!
What's up, Twitter?
Jen. One Jen.
They're spawning back to us.
I'm on a 13! 14! Oh! Oh! It's all over! Oh my god!
Wait, there's a guy in point. What the hell?
He's spawning that, bro.
I'm B.
Yeah, I'm in there. Big on
I'm B playing.
Yo! Invent Mac! Yo, I just smoked so many of them! Oh my god!
Shoot me from top green, bro.
Dude, don't let him cap this.
Man.
I'm on the pinch, don't worry.
I'm B play done.
Yo.
I'm on the pinch. He's top green.
And you guys might be wondering whether this was like a 23 EKIA, like maybe not too much of a big deal, but as EasyMac says, their analyst can confirm at 23-0 actual kills. So he actually started on a 23 streak up against the New York subliners in this scrim, and well, then it seems they effectively just ended it and say, look, enough is enough. I don't think they lost an entire map this scrim set to my understanding as well, so obviously not ideal for the New York subliners, but for Atlanta FaZe, clearly looking very good indeed. I mean, Simp was almost on for a nuke. That would have been remarkable, pretty not necessarily disrespectful from Clayster and the guys, of course, to end the scrim, but at the same time, if Simp's on for a nuke, you've got to give him the chance of finishing off the job, I suppose, when he's 23-0 actual kills on the map. I mean, honestly, just incredible stuff. And it does ask the question, coming up, of course, we have the groups for the CDL Stage 1, and Atlanta FaZe put into Group B, OpTic, Chicago, Mutineers, Toronto Ultra, Paris Legion, Los Angeles, Grillers. Definitely a pretty scary pool on paper, I think, and especially if Atlanta FaZe are looking very good indeed, because we saw that last weekend, they lose to the Florida Mutineers. FaZe were apparently not looking, well, they were looking good in scrims before that, but Crowder was talking about the fact that, okay, maybe they'd got a little bit complacent or something. Like, they look at their lineup and they think, okay, there's no way we can possibly ever lose a match ever. And then they go up against the Mutineers and maybe they have a bit of a reality check and they think, okay, we really need to focus up for these coming weeks. And up against the Subliners team, a team that supposedly has been looking a little bit better. Supposedly they 8-0'd Los Angeles Thieves not too long ago. Up against Atlanta FaZe right here, clearly not looking very pretty. I mean, those rounds of control were not exactly close at all, and supposedly the hard points weren't exactly going in their favour either. So Atlanta FaZe, if they're looking very good indeed, that makes Pool B an absolute minefield, right? I mean, they lost to the Mutineers, but OpTic Chicago looking like maybe the second best team in the game right now behind Dallas. You've got Ultra, Paris Legion. I mean, those are two teams which are probably underdog squads, and maybe even LAG, if you get them on a decent hosting situation, they have pretty fundamentally good search and destroy as well. So honestly, Group B seems like a difficult one to navigate, right? You've got a number of good teams right here. Who exactly is going to be top 3 in this group? It should be relatively easy, I suppose, to say FaZe, OpTic, and Mutineers, but the seeding actually matters a lot. Like, who gets number 1 seed in this group is genuinely a massive deal, because then you get the bye in that bracket, which gives you a better chance of winning the major tournament at the end of the month. So lots of things to talk about here. But on the other side of it, you've got to say New York subliners looking a little bit questionable, right? Like, they seem a little bit disjointed right there. Yes, it was just completely spoiled, trapping them for the majority of the rounds, but at the same time, okay, subliners, they've got a difficult roster situation right now. How well is it ever going to work out for them? Are they going to try and make some upgrades in some roles or another? And what does that mean potentially for Group A kicking off in just a few days' time as it stands right now? Just thought I'd mention this as well because yesterday I was talking with Envoy about, okay, keyboarding, what if it comes in to, well, what if it is allowed in competitive play? I saw this from Endure right here. Is this the Call of Duty that we want to be watching? I mean, top of this building right here, just swiping back and forth between the B bomb site and top cat. And so, yeah, pretty incredible stuff. And he turns on this guy to finish off the round. So, pretty remarkable. This is what keyboard and mouse can do. But, yeah, maybe not the Call of Duty I necessarily want to be watching in future years. And I thought you guys might find this interesting as well from Breaking Point GG. Build your 4 versus 4 God Squad using some of the greatest seasons by pro players ever. So, this is the entire thing if you guys would like to, well, pick your God Squad, what it would be. You've got 2 ARs to pick, 2 SMGs, and you can pick from their performances in particular titles. So this is pretty interesting. I think that Infinite Warfare Formal, I imagine it's kind of like you can only pick one player. Maybe you can only pick like one individual player and then like one player per game or something like that. Not really sure how exactly the rules are meant to be on this, but I'd probably go Infinite Warfare Formal. You can't really go wrong with that. Advanced Warfare Scump, you probably can't go wrong with that. I mean, those seem to be 2 staples as far as I'm concerned. Then you need some other players to round out the team. I think in terms of SMGs, Black Ops 3 John has got to be right up there. I mean, he was phenomenal that entire year. The Modern Warfare Shotzzy is also another tempt. There's definitely a lot of tempting players right here. So, okay, let's say my team is Formal, Scump. I mean, even like Crimsix Black Ops 2 is a great shout, to be honest. Clayster Advanced Warfare is a great shout as well, but maybe if I've already got Scump from Advanced Warfare, not exactly sure if I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, there's many different options you could go for here. I think the Formal Infinite Warfare, Scump Advanced Warfare, and then a kind of pick between an AR2 and an SMG2 is probably the way to go. Karma obviously deserves a good shout for Black Ops 2. Karma, for example, arguably the best player in that title for a large chunk of the season. But enjoy to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you once again as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.